What is persistence? It is a set of techniques allowing to persist in the target environment. In other words, these are all technical and operational means of preserving access to your victim organization, including the ability to survive a machine reboot. Now, why bother? Why is it important? So the first answer is pretty obvious. After you successfully breached into your target, either through spear phishing or by exploiting some vulnerability and crossing the perimeter, you land in an environment about which you probably don't know too much. So you need time to make a proper recon before you move further with your post-exploitation activities, right? So that's one. You're buying some time for your team to be able to accomplish your objective. And that brings me to the second point, operational security. Obviously, you operate within certain constraints, either time constraints, scope constraints, or any other you defined at the beginning with your customer. But that doesn't mean that once you land on a box, you start scanning internal networks like crazy, okay? First of all, real threat actors don't do such things. So if you want to simulate or emulate adversary realistically, you should start low and slow and move further without making too much noise. It all costs, time and effort and good understanding of your craft. And that's where a good, well-hidden persistence can save you from a lot of trouble. But it's also a double-edged sword. If you use well-known, well-understood, and easily discoverable persistence method, your operation can get burned very quickly, okay? So number 2 is OPSEC. Now imagine that you're on an engagement which lasts 6 months. And I know that this doesn't happen too often to have that kind of comfort, but just for a moment, think about such an operation. You have 6 months to get a list of objectives you received from your customer, okay? And your goal is to accomplish them without being detected. So how on earth would it be possible if you don't employ several not well-known persistence methods? And why am I talking about it? Because I want you to start thinking about your behavior during your engagements. Does it really look like a real adversary emulation or simulation? And how do you measure that? The whole Sector 7 project is about teaching you not only technical skills, but also how to operate the right way, stay invisible, think about your tradecraft and your tools, your footprints you leave behind, your OPSEC, your understanding of TTPs, and how to preserve an edge over the defenders, okay? These are all the things we teach in Sector 7. And persistence is just one of those. So what are we going to cover? I will tell you about some well-known persistence techniques like run keys, startup folder, logon scripts, screensavers, and profiles. Then we will walk through DLL hijacking and DLL proxying, which is just a DLL hijacking with preserving hijacked functionality, okay? The same goes with comms, component object model. So how to hijack and build a COM proxy. Then we will move to methods which require local admin privileges, including multi-action tasks, app shims, image file execution options, WMI event subscriptions, AppCert DLLs, AppInit DLLs, WinLogon, time providers, and port monitors. Finally, I will show you how local security authority, also known as LSAS process, can be used for persistence. And at this point, you will learn 3 different techniques of surviving a machine reboot within LSAS.